Hello and welcome to the Real Travel Show, where we take you on an exciting journey of fascinating places around the world. Invite your friends. Be my guest on this weekly journey around the world. Discover the food. Oh yes, my friend. The music, arts, culture, and the magical sights and sounds.
Welcome to the Real Travel Show with me, yours truly, Ras Mubarak, and you, my friend, are very welcome. You're watching the Real Travel Show. My name is Ras Mubarak. It's good to see you again. We've got an exciting broadcast, my friends. In this edition, we are traveling to one of the most exciting places in the world. Yes, indeed. This country has got a very cool young prime minister. It is the second largest country in the world. It's got loads and lots of polar bear. I'm talking about the country that has the maple leaf. And in case you're still guessing, it is Canada. Canada is big on so many things. It's a member of the G7 group of nations. It's doing very, very well in terms of providing equal opportunity for everybody. Very advanced country by all standards. And who better, my friends, to tell us about this jolly good country than the High Commissioner, Her Excellency Kati Csaba. She is the High Commissioner of Canada to Ghana and Sierra Leone and Ambassador Designate to the Republic of Togo. She's been in all sort of exciting places, started a career in the Foreign Service in 1993, rose through the ranks, served in Eastern Europe, positioned at one time in Kiev. She served in the east of Africa, Ethiopia especially, with specific mandate to oversee Canada's development assistance to Ethiopia. And of course, she's seen the east, now she's in the west. If you have a friend, you would visit the friend and the friend would visit you. I mean, I could remember President Rawlings's visit to Canada, I could remember Kufuor's, I could remember Tamil's and Mohammed's.
Yes.
And President Akufo-Addo's.
Yes.
Is it a lopsided friendship? Because, I mean, Prime Minister Trudeau, a man I admire very much, very agile. He's done quite a lot of visits. One would expect that, Ghana being a country Canada has supported the most and the earliest, would have received the Canadian Prime Minister as a way of cementing, of consolidating, our bond of friendship. You don't think so?
I don't think that you should read into the fact that he
I'm
hasn't
not reading
visited
political
the
meaning.
fact that that Canada in some way sees Ghana as a lesser partner. Ghana is a very important partner for Canada. That is absolutely the fact. And our two countries have worked together on a range of issues. Canada and Ghana have we've co-chaired things at the UN. We do have regular interactions. I would say part of the one of the factors we need to keep in mind is, of course, the COVID pandemic, which has prevented travel for the last 2 years. And let me just point out that in the past few months, since at least on our side, on the Canadian government side, we've relaxed some of our restrictions. around international travel. And since those restrictions have been lifted, we've seen 2 cabinet ministers here just in the past 3 months, and 4 parliamentarians, including 2 senators and two MPs. So I think that's a pretty good sign of the high regard in which we hold Ghana, and we will keep working on getting a prime minister's visit as soon as possible.
Are we going to see Justin Trudeau in Ghana sometime as a gesture of our friendship under your leadership?
We're doing what we can. That's all I can say. We will keep working towards that as an objective. But I can assure you there is definitely an interest on the Prime Minister's part.
Are there any timelines?
Not at this point, no.
Okay. Now on gender inequality, gender equality and women's empowerment.
Yes.
And the women, peace and security.
Yes.
These are big plans for on the Prime Minister's agenda for Africa. And recently at the celebration of the Africa Day event in May, he reiterated that when he sent a message to the African Union. As far as Ghana is concerned, how are you implementing this big agenda?
So I've mentioned to you already through our development assistance programming, we have done a lot to support women and girls, and that's because the Feminist International Assistance Policy is at the heart of everything that we do here in Ghana. And that includes work that we're doing around maternal and child health, around sexual and reproductive health and rights, around empowering women entrepreneurs, around empowering women farmers, and so on. Including also TVET education and making sure that women have the skills so that they can enter the workplace as young entrepreneurs or business people. The Women, Peace and Security agenda is also very, very dear to our hearts.
Absolutely.
And it's an area where I think Canada has played a leadership role. And I have to say in that regard that Ghana is, again, an important partner for us, particularly through the ELSI initiative for women in peace operations. I'm not sure if this is something you've heard of, but the ELSI initiative is all about ensuring that more women are engaged in a meaningful way in peace operations, in UN-led peace operations, because we know, and there is now hard evidence that shows that when women are involved in the management of peace processes, in the resolution of situations, in monitoring the progress of peace agreements, for example, then those results will last longer. They will be more stable. The countries have less chance, or the populations have less chance of returning to a conflict situation. So we see this as a really important way of moving forward the Women, Peace and Security agenda. And so through our ELSI initiative, we are working in a bilateral partnership with Ghana to increase the number of women who are able to play that peacekeeping role. I must say that Ghana is already doing an excellent job in that regard. It has one of the highest percentages of women peacekeepers engaged in UN peace operations. And that's so you already are setting an impressive record. And through our cooperation in this regard, we recently provided support through a targeted assessment, an assessment process that was developed specifically for this process to identify what are some of the obstacles, what are some of the barriers that women face in the armed forces, or it could be in police forces, to be able to then play that kind of role in a meaningful way. And so Ghana's armed forces were the first in the world to undergo this specialized assessment. And it showed that in many ways they were doing very well. And of course, there are some areas where there is room for improvement. And so those are areas that Canada will be working with Ghana over the coming years to support that.
And would that also include in preparing women for leadership? Because if you look at the population of Ghana, for instance, women are the majority, but when it comes to leadership at all levels, whether in the corporate world, if you take the top 100 corporations in Ghana, there are fewer women at the very top echelons of leadership. Is this something that you're doing, or you may want to incorporate in your big agenda strategy?
So the ELSI initiative, which I was just mentioning, is specifically targeted in Ghana on the Ghana Armed Forces.
Okay.
So that's a specific element. But the other work that we're doing around women's entrepreneurship, for example, that is very much designed to see women take on increasingly important leadership roles in the economy, for example. We also have a new program that will be getting underway shortly with the Parliament of Ghana that will be working on how to ensure that gender equality and the empowerment of women and girls takes on a stronger role in policy development, in the development of legislation and so on. So these are all different ways in which we expect to support women's empowerment here. And I have to say, in the corporate world, unfortunately, in every country there is still a bit of a gap, but I think
even in Canada, I mean, surprisingly, yes, I don't remember Canada having a female prime minister.
We had one once, very briefly.
Okay.
But,
and the men ganged up against her.
No, not that. It was a complicated process through our parliamentary process. But I mean, I would say we're ready for one at this point, and we'll see what happens in future elections. But certainly political parties now in Canada want to make sure that there are able women candidates, and we have a number of women who have been vying for leadership roles in the various political parties. But I was saying about the corporate world that we know as well there is documented evidence that when corporate boards of governors are more diverse, by including more women, but also other aspects of diversity,
minority groups,
the
and
companies are more profitable. So that's not something that we can necessarily legislate or force to happen. But I think as companies come to understand that they will be better off, they will do better, they will have a stronger profit line when they have greater diversity in their ranks, then I hope to see companies doing that as well.
Interesting.
Hello and welcome to the Real Travel Show, where we take you on an exciting journey of fascinating places around the world. Invite your friends. Be my guest on this weekly journey around the world. Discover the food. Oh yes, my friend. The music, arts, culture, and the magical sights and sounds.
Welcome to the Real Travel Show with me, yours truly, Ras Mubarak, and you, my friend, are very welcome. Let's come to the issue of migration to Canada.
Yes. There's always a question about migration to Canada.
We've got, when we run this online, that we're going to be speaking to you, we've got loads of people saying they've applied, it's taking them a year, the process is too long. What is happening, Excellency?
So, Canada is a country built on migration, as you know. We have, besides our Indigenous peoples who have been on the land since before Canada was even a country, most of the population has come from somewhere else at some point, and we continue to be a land of migration. So we will continue to welcome migrants every year. I know last year we received around 400,000 new migrants to Canada. We have a target this year for 410,000 new migrants to Canada. Globally,
Okay.
Yes, not from Ghana.
Okay, what's the target for Ghana?
There is no specific kind of country target. We set a global target, and then our offices around the world seek to make that happen. I have to say, for those people who are interested in migration to Canada, not just to go on a visit, but on a vacation or to see their family, but who want to move to Canada, it is a slow process. There are all kinds of steps that need to be gone through, and certainly COVID didn't help in that regard. But we still met our target last year of getting 400,000 new migrants. So it's just a question of being patient and trusting.
But
that
even
the
with
system
holiday
will go
makers,
through.
Excellency.
Sorry?
Even with holiday makers,
Still,
the process is still laborious and long.
It is a slow process.
What's the average processing time?
Average processing times are pretty much the same around. For migrants, the processing times are pretty similar around the world. And I can't give you an actual processing time, but there is information on the website of our IRCC is the acronym of the department, and people can go online and look at, and they will set out for the different categories of migrants. It will set out the estimated timeline that it takes. For short-term travelers, for people who want to go on holiday or to visit their families, we strongly encourage people to give at least 4 to 6 weeks before they need their visa. And we know that every year around summertime and around the end of year holiday season, there's always a spike in demand.
Applications.
And so it means that the same number of officers are dealing with a higher volume of requests, of applications. So
it's a matter of staffing.
So, well, it's not. I wouldn't say it's a matter of staffing necessarily. It's just that you can't staff for the peak periods, because then you have people who are underemployed in other parts of the year. It just means people need to apply
Early
in a
enough.
reasonable time. Yes.
And finally, in terms of opportunities for young Ghanaians, be they students or skilled workers, what are some of the opportunities available for Ghanaians who might want to study or access job opportunities in Canada?
So in terms of study, Canada has an excellent network of universities that are, some of which are really at a world class, and we very much welcome Ghanaian students as well as students from every country of the world. So their students are welcome to explore online the various universities and to look for opportunities. At the undergraduate level, I must say that for those people who are looking for scholarships, they need to look at the individual universities and what they have to offer. At higher levels, there are various programs to support that may have scholarship opportunities in different fields of study. But then in terms of skilled workers and jobs as well, there are many opportunities. We have an aging population. We continue to need people who come with very specific skills. And so there are opportunities as well. And we have a specific category of migration, which is for skilled workers. And then, there are opportunities as well. If somebody can identify an employer who is interested in bringing on that specific individual, then there's also a process that can get them to Canada. So there are all different ways in which Ghanaians can make their way to Canada.
So the Real Travel Show intends to be in Canada in August.
Yes.
And I know tourism is one of your big agendas.
It is.
Top 5 destinations you would recommend?
Wow.
Or is it too small?
That's too small.
Okay,
too small.
top 10.
Well, let me put it like this. As you mentioned at the beginning of our conversation, Canada is the second largest country in the world.
Yes.
So I don't know where you're planning to go, but there is so much to see in Canada, and we would encourage you to see as much as you possibly can. And I'm just going to kind of take you across the country. On the East Coast, on the Atlantic coast, you have opportunities to see icebergs. You can go whale watching. You can eat some of the best lobster in the world. It's very charming countryside on the East Coast. You have the house that was built to represent Green Gables. I don't know if you've heard of this famous Canadian children's author, Lucy Maud Montgomery, who wrote Anne of Green Gables, and then a whole series of books about this young woman in Prince Edward Island, which is now a sort of a treasured literary classic around the world. So you can go visit the house. Then, if we move sort of more centrally in Canada, you have, of course, Quebec City, which is this cultural gem, which is probably the most European-looking city in all of North America. And then you have these large, diverse, dynamic, multicultural cities of Toronto and Montreal that are very modern in some ways, but also have some really interesting elements. They include big populations of people from all around the world, including Ghanaians. You have Ottawa, of course, which is the capital of Canada, which is the seat of government. So there's some interesting things to see there. Now you're going in August, so you won't be able to enjoy this, but the Rideau Canal, which runs through central Ottawa, is in the wintertime the longest outdoor skating rink in the world, and people use it every day to skate to work, skate to school. It's a great thing to visit. Yes. Then if you head further west, you get to the prairies and to the west coast of Canada. You have these amazing prairies, which are really the heartland of Canadian agriculture. You have the flatlands in Alberta, and then you get to the splendid Rocky Mountains, which are just beautiful and offer many, many amazing sights. And then another very modern and diverse city, Vancouver, on the far west coast. And it's said that you can go from surfing in the Pacific Ocean to skiing in the mountains in one day if you're in Vancouver and the area. Canada is also a land that is full of parks. We have national level parks and provincial parks. So you have this amazing wildlife and nature that is found all around you. And then if you head up north, you have amazing things like the Northern Lights, which is which is this amazing phenomenon that happens in the sky.
Yes,
That's
yes,
right.
yes.
And then and then the beauties also of the northern culture, and again with icebergs, with polar bears. I mean, there's just lots to see all across Canada.
Amazing.
So I hope you'll be able to pick the spots that you want to go and be able to show the full diversity that is Canada.
We're looking forward to it. What would be your recommendation for food?
Food.
I mean, for a very multicultural, diverse
Yes.
country like Canada, it may be hard to pick, but
It is hard to pick. So let me again give you just a few suggestions.
okay.
First of all, we have amazing seafood, as Ghana does too, but with with some cold water variations, let me say. But whether on the East Coast with our amazing lobster and other seafood, if you head out west, you have amazing fresh salmon and other things. Then in the province of Quebec, which is the mainly French-speaking area of Canada, they have strong traditions from French cuisine. So they have developed their own special cuisine. So I would encourage you to try something like tourtière, which is a meat pie, or now I can't suddenly think of the word, but poutine. There we go.
Okay.
Poutine, which is it's a very greasy, fatty thing, but it's really delicious. It's French fries with cheese curds and gravy on top. It's really decadent. So something to try. Then you have in other parts of Canada, you have a wide range of cuisine that reflects the multiculturalism that exists in Canada. So you have fresh local ingredients that have then been synthesized with different cultures and made into this kind of fusion cuisine. So there are lots of different things to try, but I'd encourage you to try some of the wild meats that you can get in Canada, whether it's
Reindeer.
deer or elk or moose, things like that. They're very lean, they're very tasty.
I'm already salivating
There
over
you
that.
go. Lots of beautiful fresh berries and fruits as well that you can get in August. You'll be there just at the right time for blueberry season.
Absolutely.
And the start of the apple season, and peaches and all kinds of great things. So I hope you will enjoy tasting all kinds of great Canadian food.
Excellency, I want to thank you very much indeed for speaking to us.
Well, it's been my great pleasure. Thank you
And,
so much.
wish you all the
Thank you
best.
for your interest in Canada.
Thank you very much indeed. Keep watching The Real Travel Show.
Hello and welcome to the Real Travel Show, where we take you on an exciting journey of fascinating places around the world. Invite your friends. Be my guest on this weekly journey around the world. Discover the food. Oh yes, my friend. The music, arts, culture, and the magical sights and sounds.
Welcome to The Real Travel Show with me, yours truly, Mubarak, and you, my friend, are very welcome.